under there. Town Council, they are also here. They deal with road accident, road safety is what they do. The Roads Authority is also there. So after I'm done with my presentation, they are here to respond to all the questions that will be asked. So our overview, there are 3 traffic law enforcement within the region. We have got Katima Molilo, where senior there is the unit commander. Then we have Ngoma traffic, and we have Menias Brian Lebuto traffic.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to plan you. As long as you don't fall.
As long as he's not putting you in a picture there.
This one. It comes here. This one is another type. Okay.
Order, Honorable Nganaye. All right, the picture is now coming. Let us get order and proceed. We are live. We are live. We are streaming live. Let us get order and proceed. The picture is clear.
Do you write your names?
Floor is yours.
Okay, I was on the overview. We have covered this side when the residents are entering, traffic is there. We also have covered Ngoma when the foreigners are entering. We also set up there. And then we have the central one, which is Katima. So during the 2025-2026 financial year, the region have recorded 472 road crashes. So this incident, we had 39 that are serious injuries, while 18 is fatalities. In the current financial year, 2026-2027, from April up to June, where we are now, July have not yet ended, we have recorded 98 road crashes, 13 serious injuries, and 4 fatalities. So that's where we are standing at the moment. This is just a graph that shows the statistics. So if the trend continues, we expect to have a reduction that might be recorded. These are just some of the pictures where we normally have accidents. As you can see, it's severe, but luckily we don't really have fatalities. It's more on serious injuries and slight injuries. So this pictures continues. Mostly, sometimes it's tire burst, sometimes it's loss of control, heat over the tree, sometimes it's head-on collision. Sometimes it's against the animals. So the existing intervention and achievement, the operation, traffic law enforcement units have been deployed across the region. The primary mandate is to enforce the provision of the Road Traffic Transportation Act 22 of 1999. Speed management and visibility. We normally have targeted speed enforcement operations. They are conducted to ensure compliance with the speed limits. We also have visible patrols, which are carrying out to deter traffic violation and promote adherence to road traffic regulations. We also have road safety awareness and education, where these campaigns are targeted for schools that are visited to acquaint learners on rules of pedestrian. So they don't just give ticket, we also do education. It continues, drunken driving and compliance checks. This is where we check the mobile. We have mobile roadblocks, which we establish at each and every place that we feel like we want to set up here. They will just set up and screen motorists for alcohol consumption. The road infrastructure maintenance, Katima Molilo Town Council is undertaking maintenance of local roads through the pothole patching, concurrently run with the road authority. They are busy identifying and maintaining those damaged portions of the roadway. Probably if you drive through our town, you'll find that it's better. 2 weeks back it was worse, but they have tried to patch those holes. Those are also just contributing factors, because the other person will try to go over the next other lane because he's avoiding a pothole. And then the other person comes, then they have accidents. National Road Safety Council, in collaboration with traffic law enforcement, are busy educating motorists through awareness programs. So these are just some of the awareness that is normally conducted at the schools.
Very good.
They go there and they will teach the learners on what to do, how to cross, how to be very careful. It's not only done to the learners, it's also done to the adults. Roadblock checks, speed traps, we also educate. Taxi drivers are also not spared, they are also educated. Achievements, reduced road crashes because of all the awareness that has been done and all the police visibility, the patrol, the speed catchment that is being done. These are the results, reduced road crashes. During the first quarter of the 2026-2027, which is April, May, June, financial year, 17 road crashes were recorded. This reflects a 15% reduction compared to the 20 crashes recorded during the same period in the previous financial year of 2025-2026. So that's why I said if the trend continues, we will likely, at the end of the year, we might record less, more especially on the fatalities and serious injuries. Improved road safety awareness. The continuous road safety awareness campaign has positively influenced motorist behavior. Regular school outreach program to educate learners. All these initiatives have contributed to the decline in road crashes. Law enforcement efforts against driving under the influence of alcohol has been strengthened. 93 drivers arrested for drunken driving in 2026-2027 financial year, compared to 26 drivers arrested so far in 2025-2026. Financial year, compared to 26 drivers arrested so far. So we have an increase here. This is what I'm seeing. We have arrested more. So the challenges, there are so many, but we just put those. It goes to human behavior as a money challenge. Ignorance, you just feel like, why did they create a speedometer that goes to 200, but yet they are telling us we must drive 120? So what the hell? They will go and they will drive and they will test the speedometer up to the end. So that is just human behavior. Then we have reckless and negligence driving, the drunken drive, the intoxicated pedestrians that are also just walking on the road without checking, making sure that the road is safe. The non-use of safety belt, we still get that. So some people will be thrown out of the vehicle once an accident occurs, and that may result in fatalities. Stray animals, jaywalking, poor road maintenance, unlicensed drivers, there are so many. Even if we can just go down and make a stop there, we'll find hundreds and hundreds of them. We find them, but at the end of the day, what do we do again? We are also even tired. Poorly maintained vehicle, some crash-prone areas in Katima Mulilo town as a result of insufficient street lighting, as majority of accident occurs between sunset and sunrise. Maybe town council will tell us what they can do with that. The accident-prone areas, we have Maso Kotwani, the road, the Nyanti Road, it's vulnerable to pedestrian. We have the Muviza area on B8 route, the Trans-Zambezi Highway, the intersection between Seminayoma Road and B8 route, the junction between Cowboy Road and the Dairy, at that along the B8, there's a bar which is called Mukwahepo there. Kongola Sinai area, Choi area, Omega, Kongola Sinai, Choi area on C49 road, and Omega. Most of those are our hotspot. We call them hotspot areas where accident occurs mostly. So the challenges affecting us, there are so many also. Some will come or discuss about them as we go into discussion. The unavailability of resources, e.g. transport equipments, it remains a major challenge. I was telling the other parliamentarians that were here for, was it infrastructure, that committee that came last week. Among all the regions that I have worked, traffic, they are better when it comes to transport because they have this yearly funding that Road Fund buys them vehicles every year. But when I came to Zambezi, I find that Zambezi region, they are the poorest traffic because they just don't have cars. But we tried, and almost 2-3 cars were loaded on a low bed and they were taken to Windhoek for repairs. And we were also promised that currently now Road Fund is busy buying vehicles. Probably they will focus to Zambezi since the traffic unit is depleted when it comes to vehicle. They don't have vehicles. It goes with the equipment. As you have heard from the other regions also, it's also affecting us because you only have one machine that you need to share. It must be used by that unit, then it must come to this unit, and then during all these other days, then you don't do anything. So even if you find them, you rely on the hospital. Sometimes it's also that long process. So at the end of the day, you just become a pastor, and then you just say, oh, please don't do it again. Or just stay there, wait until you sober up. Then from there, you can drive. So we face that as well. Limited police visibility. Sometimes we are not everywhere. We are also just few. So we will not be able to cover all the other area. So we might be here, but 20 kilos, we are no more there, and then they increase their speed and accidents happen. Poor road infrastructure, it also contributes to accidents. Alcohol outlets and bars that are nearby the roadway, this one contributes more especially with pedestrians, because once they are drunk, they don't care. They just tend to, some sit next to the road, some just walk across the road without checking for vehicles. So our recommendation would want road infrastructure with adequate space to separate motor vehicle and vulnerable road users. We also want allocation of resources, e.g. transport and equipment, to enable traffic to be strengthened. Stiffer sentences and license suspension to repeated offenders on drink and driving and the reckless. I don't know how we are supposed to increase that fine, but currently now the 4,000 is not scaring them, because they can drink and then they'll go and pay that 4,000. There was a time when it was at 8,000, probably maybe that would have scared them, but at some point it went down to 4,000. So we see this trend just continues. So we don't know. Some have no problem with money. They say money is not a problem. So even if we say 8,000, they will still drink because they have money, and then they will just go pay the fine and they are out. Alcohol outlets to be located far from the public road and school. This will minimize now pedestrians that are usually bumped most time. So in conclusion, road safety is everyone's responsibility. Therefore, let us all work together and make our roads safer. It's not only for the police, it's everyone's responsibility. We all need to take care of ourselves. I thank you.
Round of applause. Thank you, Commissioner. I think the presentation was detailed. I will now open the floor for questions and give our members of parliament, did the questions we have come out? Let them finish and then we go to the, yeah. Let's finish with the police and then, yeah. All right, Vice, you can take the first question. A.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. The first question is, what are the leading causes of fatal road policy statistics.
Just to give clarity, when we came for the hearing, we came prepared for 4 questions. Sometimes the presentation already answered the questions, but sometimes more clarity is needed. That's why honorable members will raise that questions, and then to get that answers that is needed, even the other police officers can come in to assess the commissioner to give clarity.
Through your permission, I would suggest that maybe if there are some other stakeholder who wants to report, maybe Katima Muliro, or maybe something, or myself, because when we will start asking questions now, we are going to preempt on what other people are going to say. That's my humble request.
With all due respect, we have got questions for every institution.
Oh, okay.
Specific questions. That's why we are giving the floor for the police first,
Okay.
and then we have got questions for roads authority, we have got questions for local authority. You see, the reason we are having this engagement is we want to go to the root cause. What is it that caused our the deaths on our roads? And that root cause must come out. The evidence-based recommendations is what we're interested in. So that's what we're interrogating. So, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Let me repeat the question again. What are the leading causes of fatal road accident based on police statistics?
Is it clear? Is it clear, the question?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. What are the leading causes of fatal road accidents based on police statistics? Number 2.
Thank you so much, Chair. I've got also one, extra one. In the presentation, the regional commander have indicated that Zambezi region is one of the regions that is disadvantaged when it comes to human capitals, and also probably other support system that you would need. Hence, maybe if you can also just specifically, we also want to look at your organograph to see what the staff complement, what does on your staff complement, and what the current situation, so that we just get that overview pictures. Because when we say that you are disadvantaged, we want to get that specific. How are you disadvantaged in terms of human and also resources wise? Maybe if you can also tell us on that one, so that we get an overview on that particular one. And
Honorable,
and
perhaps that is a very good intervention. Perhaps the vacancies that is there.
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yes, and also the car, because we understood it's not only Katima, you have got also other outlet police stations. How are they coping? Maybe if you can also inform us. And then the last one, the specific question now is which traffic offenses contribute most significantly to the crashes? We want the specific one that are contributed to the crashes on the road.
That causes death.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, esteemed stakeholders. I think the majority of our questions has been attended to by the presentation. However, I just want to hear from the sorry for no, I can know what. Okay. Or maybe it can be just here. Yeah, I just want to hear from the NAMPO But of course, other stakeholders that are the expert on the trafficking issues can also come in as to what long-term investment is needed in the road infrastructure when it comes to truck parking facilities, intelligence trafficking management system, and emergency responsive services to ensure that the growing volume of cross-borders fleet does not increase road accidents in our roads in Katima, Murillo, and elsewhere in Namibia. I don't know whether you have catch up my question.
I think it's me.
Okay. What long-term investment is needed in road infrastructure when it comes to truck parking facilities, intelligence traffic management system, and emergency responsive services to ensure that the growing volume of cross-border fleet does not increase road accident in Katima, Murillo, and elsewhere in Namibia. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you very much also, Commissioner, for well-articulated report. I think that about the penalties given to the offenders drivers, it was well explained that people, even they don't care, they don't fear of paying because it was 8,000, now it was reduced to 4,000. And mostly people who are spitting, those people have with money. And then that one for them is a peanut. Then there must be something to be done about that one. Now what I wanted to know, I have seen in your presentation, there is a drunk and drivers being arrested. But I haven't seen those who doesn't have license. Are these people being, they just fined and given a go-ahead, or also they are arrested for driving without driving license? Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you are noting the questions.
Commander, through experience of traffic, according to the law, there are some other laws. Maybe you see this one is need the government to improve here and there, so that we can bring the behavior of our people in the road to survive. Because the road is ours, and the car also ours. It is not to say that let we have roads so that we can die. Let we have roads so that we can reach our destination where we want to go. But according to our behavior, it is going beyond now. I remember that wherever, even the presentation also mentioned the reckless and some behaviors when they are driving, like you are not driving your own car. Maybe the law there, what can you propose according to your experience that this law, if the government can do this and the human being will behave like this, then we are surviving the road. I thought, thank you so much.
Okay, I will now. The questions are getting too many with law enforcement agencies to give clarity. The mic.
Hold it, or I have to. I can just hold it. All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for the questions that are being posed. I will try to be so brief and answer to these questions. The first question was, what are the leading causes of the traffic accidents? All right. In my jurisdiction, of which is Katima, you'll find that in most cases, we have pedestrians that are involved. And then once you do your preliminary investigation, you'll find that it's either that pedestrian was under the influence of alcohol. Now, let's go back to where did the person get that alcohol consumption. You'll find most of, especially this MR125, it's situated just along most of these bars, Shabin, they are in a proximity of a public road, whereby at your left you find there's another bar, on your right there's another bar, of which if the person get drunk or if the person want to go through, to go cross the roadway to go to another bar, that's where now the accident happens. Because you know the person who is under the influence, the impairment is there. The person cannot even judge the distance of a car. So these bars, they are all in other ways, they're kind of contributing to the road accidents. I don't know if that one tried to kind of justify the question.
Yes, yes.
And then the second one is the commissioner said we are disadvantaged, of which indeed we are. As we speak now, my unit was supposed to have 38 personnel, traffic officers, according to the structure. But now, currently, I'm having 10 under me, which is kind of, I have to cover up the extent vast area for us to kind of enforce the Road Traffic Act. So it's kind of, we are, the manpower is not kind of being there. And then when it comes to the equipment, as I speak now, I don't have a car which is moving on my unit. Yes. There's no car which is mobile when it comes to Katima Muliro.
Serious, huh?
Of which now we would say, in my opinion, yes, visibility is something that plays very much vital role when it comes to, impact to change the driver's behavior. But now, how will I go to point A or from point A to point B for doing road patrol without any car, of which it's a very big challenge to us. So that it's kind of a bit challenging when it comes to resources wise. And then speaking within the region now, we only have one, as the commissioner have alluded earlier. We just have one dragger, which is being utilized from Katima unit. It have to go to MBL, which is Kongola, and then you have to go back again to Ngoma. So it's when we kind of, if for example, if that car, machine is not in my jurisdiction, we only have to rely on the blood kits. Of which now, when it comes to the blood kit also, it will be a challenge because from the point where the accident happened, you have to travel plus minus, let's say maybe half an hour. By the time you reach, you have to go to the charge office, book that kit. And then the time that you have to go to the hospital for examination, of which now 2 hour time have already lapsed. So it's a challenge. Going back to the question, the third question, which is which traffic offenses contribute to road crashes? We have a very serious one, which is reckless and negligent driving. We have driving under the influence of liquor or any intoxicated drug. And then we do have the common one, which is now driving without a driving license. So, yeah, that is like, I would say common because driving without a driving license, it's a challenge to each and every traffic unit. The fourth question was, what long-term investment? There's something that I always used to emphasize on or to kind of voice out, especially when it comes to this engagement. You'll find that during, from the point where the inauguration of this 24 hours border, this border, Bunyala border, our road, the trunk road, the B8, from Bunyala border up to exiting the region, you find out now it's kind of heavily trafficked because the Way Bridge, you'll find that it's situated in the proximity of let's say, it's a town. And you'll find that from Winela, they have to kind of queue up to the Way Bridge. And then from whatever town coming cross, exiting the region, they still have to queue up. Of which now you'll find that we have other suburbs that are kind of situated on your, if you are standing facing the northern direction, on your left there's what we call, is it Makaravan. So we have vulnerable pedestrians that I have to kind of cross along that, cross over to another suburb, of which now, if, in my opinion, if we'll kind of look at the relocation of the Way Bridge from where it is to another place, so that it must kind of divert this to trucks to another place, just straight, at least to kind of avoid this pedestrian involvement of when it comes to road crashes. So that might be the long-term investment that we can just kind of look at and kind of put it involved. There's another question of that was raised by the Honorable there, driving without driving license. In the report, it was saying drink and driving, they're the one who are being arrested. What about these people who are driving without a driving license? All right, you'll find that if you are a first offender, you'll be charged, of which is the 1,000 Namibian dollar fine that the person will just go and pay and so forth, and then go back again driving the same car. If you are being found, you are no more a first offender now, you are a second offender, of which now we have kind of a reference that this person on a certain day drove a motor vehicle without a driving license, of which now a case can be opened, and then you kind of you go through your what's that, your OLG books, and then you kind of put them together, you open a case, and then the person has appeared. But now the only problem that we are having is just like, as the Commissioner have alluded, is about, I don't know whether it's leniency that is kind of being at this justice system. Because if you impose a fine or any sentence that is kind of, let's say, it's just not more than 2 years, or maybe 6 months imprisonment, and then not more than 2,000 Namibian dollar fine, of which at this time where we are now, it's a dynamic world where we kind of have something from the pocket. I would rather pay that, and then after I go back in the same society, I drive the same car, again, you'll be arrested again. The same thing goes on just like that, of which, what are we doing? There's nothing. So, meaning, to answer to that, drivers without driving license, yes, they used to be arrested. It's just that, no, it's just leniency that is on the justice system.
So it's basically a loophole.
It is a loophole. It is a loophole. Because for us to change somebody's behavior, the person have to feel the pinch. Without that, I'll still have to go back again, continue. The last question was, that was any improvement in line with, did you kind of, I think, I think I got, did I get the question right?
No, I was saying like, as experience in...
in line with the other legislative...
yes.
Okay. Let's start with the extent-prone areas, whereby, as my commissioner have alluded earlier, that most extent happen between sunset and sunrise. And then she also touched on the point of insufficient lighting and so forth. But now you'll find that this also plays a role when it comes to the vehicles that we drive. There are certain vehicles. The car is coming from a manufacturer. It's there plenty without, with the prescribed headlamps. And then you'll find that there's this vehicle which is kind of putting, they are done with extras. And then now they put those bar lights, those ones, where we say they are not prescribed. And then now the question is, where did they get those, where did they buy the bar lights? It's from this one of the shops. Now, how did that bar light come in Namibia? How did it come in? It's through the import, through importation, it comes in, and then through our borders. But now there's something, there's a law that says certain these lamps, they are not allowed. And then we kind of, with our laws, they are not aligned to kind of play to one tune. If the people at the border allow that thing comes in, obviously our locals, they will use it. So if through the experience, because I always used to kind of demonstrate when I got one, and then I call the driver, he comes, and then I light it out, and then after I give him a book to, just a word to read, he won't read it. So imagine if it was time of driving at night, he kind of put the high beam to oncoming driver, the other driver who is coming now, without those LED lights, he won't see. In that few seconds, that's where the accident happened.
That's true.
That's where the accident happened. So it's better if we kind of align. If there's a law which says this, at least any other law must also kind of cover that. So I think that is something that we kind of try to, if there's something that we need to do, let's try to also check our laws. Let's try to kind of align them together so that if in Namibia there's this law which says this, whatever law which kind of bring those items in, it must say this one is not allowed. So now the locals are just buying them just like that because they are already in Namibia. I think I did answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any contributions from the members? Yes, Honorable.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Yes, indeed, your committee is very critical, and it is important that you are deliberating on that issue. Because currently now the states for our country, it says we had almost 300 road crashes that we had. Country from January to June, almost 300. So the fatalities is went beyond 2,300. So it is really good that you are down on to consult with the communities or the stakeholders at large to see what can we do. Yeah. And it's very critical. Let me also second the last presenter was responding to your question. Honorable Ikua, you have mentioned you have pointed out a very good question. You say, what is missing? It is also part of what I wrote here that there should be limitations to spotlight. As he rightly stated, I almost got off-road because of those kind of lights. Because for me, when I was dimming, and for him, he was just flashing straight to me, and I could not see where I was going. It is either I could end up going to him, or either go off-road. So it's only by God's grace. So that is very critical, and then you really need to see how do you move it as members of Parliament. I know you do your recommendations to see what can we do in terms of those. That if we have got a car that has got unnecessary extras, at least it should be taken out of the road, or either those things should be taken right away. But we should have laws. And the other one is that I know in Namibia we have got two places between Grootfontein, either Chivarongo before you reach Okahanja. Some areas that has got this old speed. Is it how is it called? Oh, speed traps? It's speed cameras, yes.
The yellow one.
Yes. I don't want to report myself, but I would say 2 or 3 times I passed there with a high speed, and I haven't heard any people summoning me to say you have went there with a high speed. So those are the things that we really need to take seriously. And I know some other people were challenging those cameras to say it is against this, the law of Namibia to put those kind of cameras. So at least if we want to mitigate or either to reduce fatalities, we really need to make sure that we have got laws that supports traffic users so that they, at least they should have to maintain their speed. And I was suggesting that if our committee for transport, if you could do a benchmark to any other country that have initiated something to monitor the speed of traffic, that would be really good, because maybe they could have created a dashboard to say, okay, there's another car, number plate this, it is always on a high speed. I don't know if that can, had happened to another country, but at least through some researchers, they can research to see if there's any model where we can copy in order for us to reduce these fatalities that we have in the country. The other point, which leads to accidents, just to add on what the man has reported, these trucks, you will find that there are 5 trucks that are following each other, and the distance is just less than 5 meters. And if there is such convoy with trucks, it's really a problem.
Yeah.
So we really need to have laws in Namibia to say we will only allow trucks to drive from 6 o'clock in the morning up to what time. Otherwise, trucks moving 24 hours on the road is so much risky. So we really need to see what we can do. I think those were my comments. I would rather come in later again. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. If one can contextualize to say the trucks are following each other, you see, this is a serious concern. So you will be traveling more kilometers behind the truck because when you want to overtake, there is no space. Now, these are critical issues that we need to discuss. How are we going to remedy the situation? Perhaps at the border, these guys who are driving the trucks coming in needs to be alerted. Somebody needs to tell them that they cannot, they need to space up. Right? Sometimes when you overtake, you put your hooter on to show them with the hand, give space each other. But this is a very serious issue. The other thing that was mentioned here, our colleagues were informing me that yesterday they make a trip to the border and they see how the trucks were standing. These are critical issues, which means that as per the presentation, the weight bridge is misplaced. And this component must be taken very, very, very seriously. That recommendations have been put on place to relocate these weight bridges out of the town, just for safe trafficking. Point taken. Honorable Chair, honorable members, is there any contributions
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And thank you very much for the response from responses to the Honorable Chair was merely to read my mind, because I also wanted to have a follow-up question to say, provided that we have got this current technology, the cameras, the breathalyzers, but what other technologies are you advocating to have in your units to say, with this technology, we will be able to at least to reduce the accidents and to manage to control traffic on the public roads? Because I have also heard, Honorable Chairperson, that the traffic officers, they are only 10 over this big region. So with that, you cannot manage to cover the region up to its maximum. So therefore, maybe it's the higher time, because technology is an equalizer. So what is that maybe technology that you want to borrow, even like the Honorable said, that you have also learned from your colleagues, our nearby countries or somewhere else? And secondly, the stakeholders are the experts, and they can also advise the leaders in terms of new legislations. Maybe from your own perspective, what proposal do you give to us to say, why can't we have this type of law to regulate the issue of traffic in Namibia? So what is that? What is your proposal on that, if you have any? So with that, Honorable Chair, I do so submit.
Yeah, let's give the law enforcement agencies the floor to respond. Anyone? Yes, you are welcome.
Thank you very much more again. My proposal, what we were supposed to have about our technology that we need a technology that have a road. When a person driving on B1 or B8 and he given a ticket for higher speed, there must be a technology which report to all the traffic on the same road that this person given a ticket at Otavi driving to the north. All the officer must alert it that there was this car which was overspeeding. When he go for the second traffic again, he is known that you are still speeding, you already cuffed in Otavi, now you are here in Sumem or somewhere where he's going. Then that person must be arrested on the spot. He repeated the same offense. This is only the way we can control. Because we are talking about repeated offender for the same offense. Because the fine is look like it's nothing to them because they're having money. It's what they are thinking. Thank you.
This is a very good conversation. When we watch TV, we see the traffic officer stopping the car, go to his car, there's a computer where he is typing something. So benchmarking is a very, very crucial issue here. So if you can go to the system, typing, if the system tells you that this guy has been given a ticket in Otavi, that will help you. But we don't have currently something like that. So a person can be written in Otavi, he can be written a ticket in Chunge, he can be written a ticket in Shakati one day. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, Honorable.
Chair, I have a follow-up on the
Please don't keep it when we are takers also.
yeah.
Our voices are.
And through you, Chairperson, I want to register my disappointment of the absence of the town council. I'm very, very, very disappointed because the issue of the no, is that it does not make decisions. He enforce. I'm saying the decision maker, they are not here. So hence, even if we say anything, he will not do anything. So hence, I'm registering my disappointment on that one. Because now, there is an issue that is very worrisome, is the issuing of licensing to Shebins or liquor outlets along the road. And town council play a very pivotal role because they issue also the fitness certificate before somebody get the liquor license. The town council also. Hence, I'm saying if they were here, I think they would also take that message in and see. Maybe we must put a moratorium. I remember, I know police also, they also fall part of the liquor board. Probably there must be a moratorium to any extension that has been created. You must make sure to it that no liquor licenses are issued to liquor outlets that are along the road, because it really put the life of our citizens at risk. So that otherwise we will continue having the same scenario. So hence I've got no specific questions. I'm just saying that some of these issues must be looked into, so that at least maybe they must put a moratorium on those to deter issuing liquor licenses, so that at least the risk of our citizens can be minimized. Otherwise, if we continue issuing them the liquor license, we are putting because we are saying this motion, we have got a concern of the life that you are losing that are attributed on the road. And some of them is a citizen that are crossing the road from the other side to the other side. And they are doing it sometimes when they are under the influence of alcohol. So hence that was my little contribution that I wanted to make, Chair.
Very, very loud and clear.
Chair.
Yes, through the chair. I fully agree with the Honorable, the importance of local leaders attending these engagements. It's very critical. Local authorities are the host. When we arrive in a town to engage with a hearing, this is a critical matter, and I really want to put the emphasis that out of the 7 local authorities, not even one is present here. So as we are debating from here, once we are done, the other local authorities must make sure that they attend this engagement, because the decisions that is taken is people-centered decisions. And we have been elected by the communities to represent them, that their concerns are heard. This is very critical. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just wanted to give feedback on the issue of the relocation of the Weybridge.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We are going to give you a chance when Weybridge were coming. We are dealing now, we are closing off with the police. So you just take note with the questions, and please, honorable members, raise your hand that we can see you, because we don't want to disadvantage anyone. Raise your hand clearly that we can give you opportunity. Honorable Konaye.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. My question is very simple, only just to the traffic officer. And we said visibility is also sometimes scaring people to reduce the speed. And for you to do that, you need the resources. And now you said you are only 10, and Katimangolo, being the capital city of Zambezi, doesn't have a car for you to do these things. Now I want to know about the 2 traffic units, Kongola and Goma. Do they have transport, or is it the same scenario? Thank you.
Police, any response on that one?
Yes. Currently, when we are talking, Ngoma traffic, they are having one vehicle. And Menias Rivuto, Kongora, which we call Kongora Police Station, also they are having one vehicle. The member Katima, Kongora, it's having 4 members. And the same also Ngoma, they are having 4 members currently, which also they are not enough. They are not enough to do the work.
Yeah, point taken. The reference to what the officials are saying here, we have got recruits every year. What causes vacancies to be standing still after thousands of police officers are recruited? Is it budgetary issue? Or what is the cause that the vacancies still are remaining?
Yes, thank you. We recruit every year, Honorable, but it's just a drop in the ocean because the same number also leaves every year. We have members that are discharged, we have members that resigns, we have members that dies, we have members that retires. So at the end of the day, the year we lose more, and then we get that 1,000 or 2,000. So it's divided because we are so many, we have so many regions, so many departments. So that 2,000 ends up being divided. So for example, the last recruit that we had now, Zambezi was given 114 from that chunk. That's what we received. So from this 114, they have to go through a probation of 3 months, some 3 months, then we'll move some to BIP, the border, and then some will be taken also to go to other specialized units, such as VIP, logistic, and then the ones that remain are the ones that will be divided now in the police stations and all those. And traffic, the problem of traffic is to become a traffic officer, you have to be trained. So they still have to go through almost 3 to 4 months training where they are trained. And after that, they are certified now to be traffic officers. It's when they become traffic officers. So that's also a challenge because that training also requires money. To train one police officer is costly. So it requires money and it doesn't come often. It was supposed to happen now. It's only that some of the members that we gave for training, some did not meet the requirement. So they put the training on hold, pending that we need to second members that meets the requirement. So it's going to start again in August. So once they start August, September, October, November, they'll only come back December. That's when we can reinforce traffic, unfortunately. Then going back to the other...
Before the commander come away from that topic. So what it means is that the budgetary provisions is there. It's only the manpower that is not there. So if the manpower can come, then obviously these positions can be filled. Is it what I'm understanding? Yes, Honorable.
Just to add while the commander is there, what are those requirements? What are those some requirements for the traffic officers to be trained?
One meeting.
Okay. The budgetary provision are not enough. That is why this training only comes once in a while, so that they train members to become traffic officers. Like now, they made budgetary provision to train a number of traffic officers, just a limited number of traffic officers. But the training was supposed to start already, but it was put on hold, pending some of the members that we seconded there that were not meeting the requirement. The requirement are that you are supposed to be at least 3 years in the force, And then you also supposed to have a driver's license, and that driver's license is also supposed to be 3 years. 3 years also. And then there was also a certain, on the age, they also needed young ones. They don't want the old ones. So now to get those members sometimes is also not easy because not all of them want to become traffic officers. So when we put up a call and say, those that want to go for training, can you give up your names? You find that you only get few names. So you have to go back and start encouraging the people, trying to say, well, no, traffic, when you are a traffic officer, you must be like this. And that's when you try to get members. So that resulted now in us just giving other members, because we gave some members that were just 2 years, but not 3 years. But then because most of the regions did not adhere to those requirements, then they decided to put it on hold, pending that we must come back and start looking for members. But not all police officers are willing to become traffic officers. So you also still have to encourage them to apply and go to be trained as traffic officers.
That's it. That is the root cause we have been talking about. Because everywhere we go, we are hearing about the vacancies. But we don't understand why is there vacancies that cannot be filled. Thank you very much for your contribution. Additionally,
additionally, I wanted also to go back to what can be done, what else can be done. One day I was driving via that road of Enerongo, Usakos, that whole stretch where they were busy fixing the road. But I could see the congestion, and then I was telling myself, but what happened? Previously, we used to have these lanes we call overtaking lanes. So I used to ask myself, what happened to these lanes? It's the same with this road that is also giving us problem of Ochiwarongo, because sometimes we don't necessarily need to have a dual lane. We can just easily create overtaking lanes. Maybe after 10 kilos or after 20 kilos, you have overtaking lanes. Then when you have a congestion of track, I will know, I will be patient because I know that after 10 kilos, there is that overtaking lane. So I'll go and overtake. And then obviously the congestion will be reduced, unlike the way it happens. Luckily with our road, after you finish Kongola, the road is open up to there, but the only accident that happens there is only from the animals. Sometimes you bump a kudu, and sometimes it's a tire burst, and sometimes just loss of control. So kettles are also contributing. Last week I attended an accident there where a kettle was bumped by two vehicles, but when you look at the damage of those two vehicles, and the owner was like, if I could not even reach on the scene, he was saying, no, I have to load this kettle because it bumped my car. What will happen now for my car? I have to stop. No, you cannot take the kettle, unfortunately. Now who will fix my car? But when you look at that car, it's badly damaged. Luckily, there was no loss of life. So kettles are also a cause of this. But the fine we give to the kettle owner is 700. So it also doesn't make any impact at all.
Before the commissioners go off there, the cattle roaming, is there any proposal from the police that can prevent for the cattle to be on the road? Any proposal? What is the suggestions that the police are having out of experience?
I think the proposal is just to do awareness campaign to the farmers so that they are aware that their animals should be in the crow after 6. This one is help also.
Most accidents are happening in the night.
Yes. Mostly this accident are happening in night time, where the cattle, so they are moving, they are roaming during the night time. That one, I think it can help us. Just my suggestion.
Point well taken. Honorable?
Yes, Chair, because some of the input or response that you are getting from the law enforcement were not capturing their presentation.
Yeah, that's why they are typing.
Yeah, now I'm looking for maybe also as a that I am seeking to get also from the police as a suggestions or recommendations to the committee because some of the issue have to do with budgetary provisions, more especially on the issue of the traffic. You are saying that it's costly, but we really do not know when we are saying it's costly, how is it costly? Maybe as a recommendation from you, because we are also looking at the very authentic recommendations, verify one, so that you also just give us a picture, so that at least when we are defending budget now, we'll have that broader understanding. When we are talking about
evidence-based.
yes, when we are talking about to fund a traffic officer, this how it costs and how, because we are seeing it as a challenge, but without understanding the other contributing factors why we have got limited traffic officers, because we do not have got those evidence information. But if you can also give us those evidence information, I think it will be very helpful to go to the committee, so that at least during those budget, we can also assist and see how we can really mitigate and also propose to the ministry, so that at least they make a budget provisions, adequate budget provisions for the police.
What the honorable member basically are saying is that you still have a room, although you give us a presentation, to add more in writing, to submit to us before the end of this month, that we can also include that you did not put in the presentation. Our secretariat is typing, but something might maybe be missed. That might help you. That when we really are deliberating with appropriation bill, then we can bring out the issues that you bring here that will make your life easier and your job easier. Because the expensivity of an object must not hammer your job to flourish, for us to lose lives on the road. No, we need to make budgetary provisions that you must have an adequate. You have only one breathalyzer of whatever the device is. That means that if the people see the camera is, for example, in Bogalo, then they know there is nothing here. So these ones, people are communicating. So if they see the traffic officer is standing here in Katima Muliro, they know there is nothing that's it. So this is situations that can be avoided. So that is now what you need to put in writing, and you can submit to us in addition. Honorable, in conclusion.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I just wanted to find out whether my question, my two questions, two last questions.
Please, the mic can be reported.
Yeah, one is with the technology, maybe that you are advocating, and the other one, whether you've got a new proposal to say if the honorable members are to come up with a law on this particular, what is your suggestion? What is your proposal? Those were my two questions. However, I just want also, Honorable Chair, to say what may be, according to yourself, investigation and observation, to say why are these young ones that are already police officers not interested into or to become traffic officers? And additionally is to say, because one may sense to say, maybe these young ones are they are very much cognizant of the future in this profession, in terms of climbing the ladder. So how does it go? Because in some professions, when you enter, somewhere you will reach the dead end. So therefore, they might be so skeptical to say, if I go to traffic, so maybe my promotion will end up to the senior inspector, then that's all. There will be no any promotion. I'm just trying to figure out to say, why does it, this unit doesn't attract many young ones? So if we are in the country of high unemployment, yet they don't want to move there. I think this is the food for thought. Yeah, food for thought, just for us to think about what is there, why are they not interested? So, Honorable Chair, it is something.
Thank you. That is a very good contribution. Maybe they are saying it takes you 20 years to become a sergeant when you are traffic. We need to avoid that thing. 25 years to become a sergeant. Eh? So these youngsters are observing. They say, oh, if I'm in this department, I can, climb the ladder very fast. So let's make it, the things attractive. And promotions also attractive. You don't need to work 35 years before you are a sergeant. At the lighter note, obviously.
Thank you very much.
Yes, floor is yours.
All right. There are three things that I have noted down here. And one was the traffic technology that one could have thought of that maybe might mitigate the issue that we are seated on here. As my colleague have said about that technology that is kind of mounted in a traffic vehicle. And then I would also suggest, in fact, one, we had already these traffic speed measuring machines that are being placed along the highways and so stuff. But now the question is, are they enough? So if one would say, why can't we kind of place all the way from point A through different intervals that these speed measuring machines should be mounted at a certain point, and then from there, at this certain interval again, we need to mount, than us mounting it from Kongola, and then we go up to Grootfontein, and then that's when we go mount another one, of which what will happen between the two? So people will just be overspeeding. So I would also second my colleague, but now mine is just at least the installation of those must be kind of from each and every given interval, at least there must be a lot of speed measuring machines installed on that road. And then the other issue is what proposed law that one could have think that this might also mitigate the road accident, because a road accident is something that is a concern to each and every person. So if we are talking about speed, there's a law which says above this certain speed, you will be fined. That is now on the driver who's going to be fined. But now, why can't we kind of take a different way of like, why don't we kind of concentrate also to the manufacturing of the vehicles? If in Namibia, the maximum speed is 120. Now, you'll find that the cars that are being registered in the same Namibia, the speedometer goes up to 300. Now, why don't we kind of, okay, fine, if when it comes to upon the registration, we say, that can be done if we kind of invest much more. If a car is being registered, at least there should be a certain mechanism that is put in place that a certain vehicle cannot go above that limit, that speed which is indicated by the other legislation. Because if it's 300, me as a youngster, I drive that BM, definitely I have to clock it to see where does 300 end. How does it feel? So if that car is manufactured in such a way that, the manufacturing part, it comes in and then we put something that, this will kind of limit this vehicle to reach that point. So that is another proposal. And then now when it comes to the straying animals, my chief has spoken about the awareness. Okay, awareness is being done. Still, again, we are getting this extent of involving the animals. Now, is it so difficult for us to think ahead that why can't we kind of propose a law that says within these meters, a crow should not be located? Because we find that most of these villages, they will include the crow, their crow also, and then it will be difficult for them in the night. You know, an animal is something that is like, you know, it will just move point A to point B just as straying. So if we kind of shift these animals some way, at least where they cannot kind of, at night, they cannot cause a danger or constitute a danger to the road users. And then we spoke about why these youngsters at the charge office not kind of interested in joining traffic. Yes. There was one time when I was at the charge office, the colleagues were busy talking. You know, when they touched your unit or your specialty, and then you kind of sit back and listen. There's one thing that they spoke is about this diploma that us traffic are getting immediately when we pass out. That diploma, it's not kind of recognized, accredited.
Oh?
Yes. It's not. So, meaning if meaning it is something that is worrisome, that you get something that certify you that you are an expert into this line, but now it's not accredited. That is something that is busy pushing this colleague of ours to kind of step back into another, to look into another units. That's why you find that most cases as traffic, we kind of exit, or they kind of think of other specializations.
Aha. All right, point taken.
So I think
yeah.
that answers me.
In conclusion, the component of the driving schools and the C1 license, the overloading of the cars, a person don't have that experience, but the trailer is overloaded, and if the wheel bursts, no control. Can the 2 minutes that the traffic officials give us a comment regarding that? Because this component come out that side.
All right. I'll try to bite a bit on that given cake. All right. Through the Honorable Chair, when it comes to the driving schools, I would say somebody who's said to be an instructor, who never went any training or any institution based on the knowledge that he must acquire to give, to teach someone. We have a problem in Namibia. We don't have, we don't have any institution that trains these driving instructors.
Oh.
So you'll find that me as an instructor, I'm busy instructing the person also, but now we are rushing to C1. The reason being it's now is the station, testing station, of which now it's kind of easier to get than the B. So why is it so hard for us that, okay, fine, for you to get this C1, you have to go through the B up to as you go? Because it's very challenging for us who used to go to the extent scenes. You ask driving licenses, all of them is C1. It's C1. And then now you question yourself, why is it that all of the majority, they are just rushing to C1? And if you happen to kind of do any research, you find that most of these people who are causing these accidents, they are C1 holders. It's because they just want shortcuts. Because B, it will kind of test the competency of that person from this point to this point.
This is a critical component, honorable members, that we need to take note for evidence-based recommendations. But for you to obtain a C1, the recommendation should be you must have a B first for you to get the C1. I think that will maybe prevent also accidents on the road. Point very well taken. Round of applause for the police officers for well-deserved contributions in the Zambezi region.
Honorable Chair, I had two things before you close, if I may humbly request.
I ought to deny you,
Okay, no problem.
but I will give you the floor.
Thank you very much. Okay, two things. Our commander is reported of creating awareness in schools, communities, and so forth. And I was suggesting that why not implementing these road safety measures in school curriculum? I'm just thinking of that. I'm not sure if it's there, but if it's not there, why can we not include it in education curriculum so that the learners can start learning while they are still young, and when they grow, they know already what is there. That's my suggestion, and I know that is not under your armpit, but it will be under education, but you can liaise and see how do we move it further. The other thing on unlicensed people, there are a lot in Namibia. We really need some more interventions. We appreciate that Roads Authority, they've come out with these notice on wheels. So these programs must really be intensified, because like for people who are coming from Kongola, Cheto, they cannot manage to come here to Katima to get a lane or whatever. But if those things goes direct to the local people, at least everyone will have a driving license. Unlike now, whereby some accidents are caused by those people who doesn't have licenses. But those are notice on wheels, it's very critical. I know we only have got one truck in the whole country. Maybe they can at least even buy other extra 2 or more in order to cover some more region. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Point taken. We are giving the floor for the local authority to do their presentation. Is it local authority traffic official? Not the local authority, so they are not here. The councillors are not here. The traffic official is here. No, obviously, yeah. We don't want to put you on the spot. That's not our system. But we can just engage you. If you have flow that you can control it. While the technology is being tested,
Honorable Khan, I'm not just leaving you.
Point taken. Thank you very much for your presence. It shows that regional council is fully represented. Please give the local authority the message that I need to attend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Floor is yours.
All the honorables through the regional commander who's here. I'm representing town council. Due to poor vision there, allow me just to read here.
Yes. You have copies for us?
Okay.
It's a copies.
Yeah?
You have copies of the presentation?
Yes, it's here.
Oh, okay. Only one?
Only the one.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Now I just listen, maybe.
Okay.
Then I share it.
All right.
Okay. Yes, as far as I say, my name is David Amwele, superintendent by the link, and I'm the head of traffic Katima Mulilo Town Council. On our report is read like this: executive summary. Road traffic crash in Katima Mulilo remain a critical socio-economic and public health concern. While nationwide Namibia has been a slight decline, increase 11% and fatality 6% in area 2026. Zambezi region is continue to experience a several preventable traffic accidents. According to Motor Vehicle Accident Fund, over 70% of these accidents are tied directly to human error. Local structure and environmental vulnerability for further worsen the frequency and the severity of this crash. Key statistical slide and the recent trends. Major crash driver. The major crash driver. Higher speed collision, illegal street racing, and unsafe overtaking a major artist, such as Sam Nujoma and Katima Mulilo Goma Road, B8 Road, dominate a regional fatal crash. When we talk about this, B8 Road, Goma Road, that is the road from when you come in, you pass through to Goma Road. It's one road, which is under road authority. That road mostly, all the accidents that we record mostly is on this road. For example, mostly from Dairy to coming town is a problem. It having two pedestrian crossing. One is at Wake Bridge, one is here for school kids. These people from there, that person is going to Goma, they are driving with a high speed, passing through. There are some things that they are going to come in this summary where you see how these things are happening. Peak times. Peak time is also in this road. We got a school, which I'm talking about in Goma Road. When people they are picking, accident happen. Peak time, nationally and locally, over 55% critically and pedestrian crash occur in the late afternoon and evening hour between 1600 hour and 23:59. That is one is up to 12 evening. In the same road. In the other speech that crossed already, we are talking about this Mkwahepo. Time of crossing of Mkwahepo is accumulating more extent. When people they drink from there, they are using the same road, B8. They are overspeeding because of alcohol consumption. Just the same road, because it's our main road. Craving volume. The new operation for MVA Fund Service Center process roughly 4% of total nationwide injury, funeral, and loss of support claim for accident. Comprehensive analysis and the challenge human and behavior factors. This we mean behaviors of this. Here we are talking about drivers. Drivers' behavior now. Reckless driving is a problem. Preventing speeding, prevent speeding, illegal drug racing, and residential locations. We're still speaking the same example. Boma. Boma is the location here, where the B8 pass to Goma Road. It's still B8, it's only one road, and ignoring a basic traffic guidelines, causing a severe impacts. Those are the problems that we are challenging the Katima Mulilo now. Traffic department and the law enforcement from Namibian police. Drifting, distress travel, which sprint use a mobile phone behind the wheels and driving under influence of alcohol remain uncurable. A person who still drunk is the same person using the phone. And is the same person driving.
3 in 1.
It's a combo. This is the problem.
Points really taken.
Pedestrian vulnerability, poor pedestrian safety practice at night, and lack of visible designated crossing zone, elevated pedestrian fatality. This is where I want to come. If I give you a good example, as I mentioned that pedestrian crossing opposite Way Bridge, there's no ramp during the night. And a person who drank from daily coming to town, that same person driving from Goma, going to, not Goma, from Kongora, going to Goma, passing this pedestrian crossing here, school kid, is one, during the night is a problem. There's no visibility. We need to mount lamps there. I think we were supposed even to put flashing robot at pedestrian.
Before you proceed, honorable members, that's why we are inviting the political leaders to come and listen. Because the political leaders are the decision makers. And if they are not here, this message is message. So I will ask you also to valid additional issues. Put it in writing extra on the presentation, and you can also submit to us. Please proceed.
Point taken, Honorable. Infrastructure, environmental pressures, climate, weather, several potholes, animal crossing, border congestion. Climate weather, our weather here in Zambezi region is different for the weather of Oshana. The river is nearby. We receive much rain and the water here underground is nearby. The scent is not so strong. That's why the road also, maybe we need a quality. Heavy seasonal downpour, often exceeding 1,000 millimeters, leave the road structure compromised and perpetually wet. For example, for those who drive in Katima during rain season, we see when you turn in Model, how is the water used to be. When you drive for the same road, Hagegen-Go, when you face the fire, old pep, water. If you are footing, you can go up to here, on the tear road. Under the water, spot hole appear. Spot holes, key instruction such as the three-way junction by the Woolman Block complex. That one is the one which is used to have a problem. First, rapid erosion. This one is a soil erosion. Come on the road when the water is running. The sand coming. Our road is too much sand. Animal crossing. The region approximately to wildlife and open grazing land regularly cause a higher impact correction when drivers attempt to swerve around crossing animal. In Katima Muliro, we are challenged. This town is surrounded by communal farm. That side between Cowboy, those animals, they come up to Way Bridge there in town. When you just drive to Goma, while before you go, in town boundary, animals, they are already on the road. Now when people are swerving, it used to cause accident. Imagine a person who tried to swerve for a cattle who drank. That's the problem. Animals is a problem. Border congestion. Interstate freight truck traffic stretching from 4 kilometers at the Katima Muliro border post into Zambia block the road corridor and heighten correlation risk with domestic sedans. Here we mean, if you check that, if we go now, those trucks, they cannot park exactly out of the road. They stuck. They take a part of the road where you find these sedans and the taxi using the same lane. Now we have to squeeze because of these trucks. That's why in the previous the speaker, I think the senior mentioned it, that unless we change the whole road, try to have diverted from this road. Yeah.
Point well taken. So
Strategic recommendations. Infrastructure development. The Katima Town Council operate under strategic 5-year memorandum of agreement running from 2023 to 2028, partnered with a road authority and road administration fund. This partnership focused on infrastructure development, financial funding, and capacity building. In short, we got a partnership with the road authority to help us to develop that road or to upgrade Hagegengop, that is the road come in town, pass through up to fire station. Road authority take a part of that one to help town Kasera of Katima Muliro. At least that road to be lifted up, and that's the road I'm talking used to have water. We go for that memorandum of understanding that is still in process. Scope, technical and administrative support. The support structure is divided across engineering, project management, and law enforcement. Technical capacity. Road authority provide a direct engineering expert to project management site and stormwater management designing to ensure higher quality construction. Financial allocation. Road fund administration serve a premium funding mechanism for local road maintenance and upgrade and traffic management equipment. It's the same, I'm talking, they are give us engineer, they are going to use their engineer for that road because of the storm water. Traffic enforcement from road authority. The road fund vital local resources, which include providing a Toyota 4x4 GD6 tactical traffic vehicle for 2025-2026 financial period for improved local enforcement mobility. This one, the road authority give us a car, a 4x4 this year for traffic, for us to operate smoothly. expedited drainage and resurfacing, prioritize a structure traveling and durable bitumen, facing a flood-prone nodes, especially the lowest point near major business complex. I still repeat the same. The complex is because in the same road that I explained when you tend to model complex, there's a problem for water. That's why road authority decide to take that thing. It's a very, very, very problem to law enforcement. Sometimes you want to regulate a car. How did you stand in the water? But the car is congestion and there's a spot hole under. It's a very, very, very challenge. Speed calming measurement, installation, engineering, speed hump, and higher visibility signal along prominent regional entrance and extent hotspot. I don't know now if my law enforcement here, they know a hotspot that is opposite cemetery. Each and every week, cowboy accident. Cowboy accident. We don't know what should we put there. That road, for when you enter Katima, up to the West Bridge, we receive accident each and every week. Oh. Same. Only the same spot. When you just enter Katima, before West Bridge, they send it to be accident. We used to call also at forestry. That's why when you come to forestry, they see this uneven roadways. This is pyramid crew. That one was a very, very, very west. Same spot. Now on this highway, how did we put speed up or what should we do there? But there's something to be done. Just when you enter Katima from cemetery up to Way Bridge. It's where we are mostly having a problem. Dedicated track staging. Collaborate with the road authority to construct a designated truck parking bay away from commuter lanes to alleviate a border post traffic building up. When we come to this track, we face a very, very big challenge while I'm there. This track, there's also something which we don't know what to do. The tracks after the Way Bridge, let me just go straight to the dangerous goods vehicle. When it's from the Way Bridge, they are not allowed to stop at the Zambia border. What they used to do, they have to park, they go in this shop right, which is illegal. Every day you have to go and make a 10. It forces law enforcement to face only one spot. Because it's a dangerous vehicle, it's not allowed. Now you have to be there, while other part of the town not taken. Tracks congestion. If you will go now just from Way Bridge, you find track along the road. Some of them, they call the other at the border. How's the border there? We are almost reach VTC. I will wait a bit. I'm going to the center.
Is it freezing?
How should I go back? This one. Come on. Wait.
Oh,
But there's a part. There's a part which is missing. Enhanced law enforcement. Digital traffic system. That is the system that we need. Transaction from paper ticket system to electronic database. Log offense dramatically and capture repeated speed. You see? This is what I was trying to talk when I talk here. What we need may be per region, per load. We need a digital PDA. This, how do we call this kind of thing? For law enforcement on the road. When I give a fine, the tablet, how do I don't know that thing. When I, you know,
That thing.
yeah, that thing. This thing we need, if a person pass Otavi, we know already which road he took. Obviously, he will go to Grootfontein. When he given a ticket between Grootfontein, that same person before Grootfontein must receive the same for speed. Transaction from paper taking system, electronic database to log offense dramatically and capture repeated speeders. Yeah, we do it per road. If a person is passing here and he gives a ticket to Goma, a person in Goma must receive that ticket that, oh, there is a car speeding from there, I will wait it. With it, what we are talking, same speed cameras. Now, if they are not enough, how did you measure this one if you are having only one? How did we do it? We got only one, resources.
Point well taken.
Yeah. Higher visibility operation. Deploy continuous intelligence drive roadblock and random breathalyzer checkpoint during peak risk hours, 1600 hours to midnight. What we need here for us to solve this problem of accident, more traffic. At least we need 2,000 intake traffic. Then, per 10 kilo, one traffic vehicle. Per 10 kilo, one traffic vehicle. Either with camera, either patrolling, either a car visibility to report that while I'm patrolling here between this road, Otavi, Grootfontein, I overtaken by car plus minus driving 200. Then those people in front, they stand on the road to stop that vehicle because we have to provide the number plate for this person to be wanted. Now, you are driving from here, the police officer or the traffic, you just leave them only Lisero roadblock. The second is Kongora. Visibility. There's nothing. Community outreach responses. Continue safe campaign. Partner with the National Road Safety Council to host a consistent safe campaign at the crowd of community transit hub like the Katima Muliro Open Market. At Katima Muliro Open Market, yes, people they are not speeding, but the way people they are crossing there is also a problem. You find people in the queue. You wait this one to pass. This one is halfway. This one is crossing. This one is coming. And public emergency activation educate a public using toll-free. We need to have a toll-free. Some accident, now currently, as town councillor, we are having a toll-free. Because we were used to find people they want to report accident, but they don't have a credit. It's a problem. People, they don't have a credit. Accident number during a crash reduce a host transaction delay. In short, there is also something I forget, like you say, we must put it.
Yes.
As traffic here in town, law enforcement and the police officer, we face a challenge. As we are law enforcement, but we are not a road maintenance. Where you find road, they are not marked, but are not a law enforcement to mark the road. Technical department. For example, we got a school where kids are bumped here. They managed to go and get their equipment to make a school patrol. Town council, they say they don't have money to paint the road until currently. Now, when accident happened, they called law enforcement. But who failing the other one? We are ready to train the kid, but a road is not market. There's no road sign. Same apply when we want a speed hump. Who will put the speed hump? It's a road maintenance. As we can identify the spot, but we cannot do infrastructure. Same apply, I think, now with my comrades here, when it comes to B8, we are share the road. Falling under road authority in Katima Muliro. When it comes to implement, you have to go through. Not him, it still have to go to headquarters. But him, we see the problem here. You report, you wait for a year. These are the challenge.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Point very well taken. In the same vein, we are also going to give, before we come to questions,
Yes.
for the time, also Transport Inspector a chance. Oh, the mic.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe let me mention here that I never knew of, about this meeting. It's only the Chief Inspector here who just called me. When you saw me coming
You
in,
are representing?
I'm representing Roads Authority.
Okay.
I'm from the Weybridge at Mambila.
Yeah, that's what it
So the Chief Inspector just called me in and he said, one of you guys must come here. There's a meeting here.
Thank you very much for coming.
So that's why you see I just came. I don't have any presentation to present to you.
Yeah.
But there are some few...
A small contribution that you can
Yes.
give.
Yeah.
Like we said, you need to try to put it in writing, and then you submit to us before the end of the month. Then your recommendations will be included in our recommendations. So you have still a room to put it in writing. But what you have, you can get.
Thank you. I just want to talk on the issue that arose in this meeting. I had an issue of relocation. People were talking about relocation of the Weybridge, and also on the issue of technology. Let me mention that by the time when the Weybridge was built, that was way back into maybe 201 or 202. By then, the flow of traffic was not the same like today. Those days we were weighing in a month less than 1,000 trucks. But today we are talking about 12,000 in a month or something like 10,000 in a month. So the issue of relocation, it is there. The land has been acquired already.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We can report that the land has been acquired, and the Weybridge was supposed to relocate actually from 15 kilos from town.
Okay.
15 kilos from town. Unfortunately, the land that was acquired, the minister was here this year, January. Upon inspecting the land, he was not happy with the land. He is of the opinion that the land is swampy, and swampy. It's like a swamp area. Yeah, and then he gave the instruction that we should look further up to Kongola, other places. So as we speak, I took up the task. We have got a place that we find 25 kilos from Katima. We engaged the traditional authorities. They are willing to avail the land. There is also another part at 30 kilos from Katima at Bito. We identified the place. We talked to the traditional authority. They are also willing to avail the land. We have got another place again, 40 kilos from Katima at Sachinga. We talked to the traditional authority. Also, they are willing to avail the land. And the last one is 20 kilos to Kongola at Masida. So we talked already to the traditional authority. They are willing to avail the land. So that is the status on the relocation of the. As for the congestion of the trucks, our team from network planning from Roads Authority, they were already here. They mapped already a bypass that will stretch from the border, that side, up to maybe 10 kilos from Katima. That's where it will come out, for these trucks not to come inside the town, but to use the bypass that is envisaged. That bypass is already mapped out. I think what we are waiting is just the funding of the bypass to be constructed.
Okay.
Yes. And on the issue of the technology, Roads Authority have embarked on the systems that new weighbridge that are going to be built as from now. They are going to be equipped with the technology that not everywhere, not every truck will go to the weighbridge, but they will have something that we call weigh in motion. It's something that is, the truck, they just pass on the road, but that thing is detecting. If there is any overload detected from that truck, that is the only truck that will now be diverted to the weighbridge. That's why they have already now started with the process that every weighbridge that is going to be built as from now is going to be equipped with this system, so that we don't have this congestion that every truck goes there, even those who are empty, even those who are not just having one pallet of cement are going there. But they will go through this system of weighing in motion. It's moving, but it's being weighed at the same time, and then they just go straight if there's any detection of overload. So those were the issues where I wanted to give feedback on. Thank you, Chair.
Point very Omake. Before I open the floor for questions, there is a component coming out regarding the traffic officials. Are the commanders suggesting that when the intake is taking place, it must be specific for traffic officials? That right from the beginning, those who are applying can be incorporated in the system. What is it what you are suggesting? Because there is a problem. And that problem seems to me it's all over the country. Because we are hearing the same issue also in the south, in Komas, Maheke or Chibarao. So what are you suggesting? When the police intake is coming, should it be added that specifically the 500 is for traffic officers? Those who are interested apply directly for the traffic officers. Is it going to solve the problem?
Thank you, Chair. I think, in my opinion, that will kind of solve the problem at hand. Because if we say this personnel from the point of, from this basic, they just have to go to straight to traffic. But now they must be empowered with
the police
traffic,
training.
yes,
Yes,
traffic
that's correct.
knowledge and so stuff. I think now we'll be talking about something that can help solve this problem. That is from my opinion.
All right, all right. We are taking note of that. Any additional questions? Because when one peruse through the questions we have is dealt with already. So I will open the floor. Just raise your hand. I'll give you the floor. You put your question. Honorable Ndabong, Anita?
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I wanted to ask my question to
It's the covered.
Road Authority, as to say, please,
Oh,
indicated about to say plus minus or what per month, but I wanted to say to know
Hold on.
Yes. Thank you very much. I wanted to know as to what is the number of the trucks that are passing through Nates per day. Because when we are traveling through those roads, even up to Chivarong, every day there's no any point that you cannot meet a truck. But we want to know how many trucks that are passing through your office per day. And secondly, as we are seeing also trucks along the border, I mean the entry, as well as the NATES office, what system maybe do you think can fast track the process? Some other countries, they are using other system called electronic pre-clearance system. I don't know what system are we using in our country. I think that one is the border. But of course, you are working closely together. But the congestion that we are seeing here is the similar congestion that we are seeing at the border. Maybe what systems do we need to put in place, especially your office that can fast track? But of course, we have heard about the emotional something,
Motion.
way in motion, something like that. Okay, so to the traffic of Katima Mrilo, I think you are standing a better position, unlike other institutions, because you are controlling your own traffic that are moving within your jurisdiction. However, it's like the town council is failing to control the weight of the traffic within the town. But one reason being insufficient fund. We understand. But what is that you made it tangible that can prove that you are able to maintain, because you were established unit really to take care of traffic within the town's jurisdiction. However, you are like very far from the managing the whole traffic within your jurisdiction. So I think maybe from your unit or section, is there any proposal that you have submitted to the leadership to be looked into for at least to improve the traffic within the town council? So with that, Honorable Chairperson, I do so submit.
Yes. I think it's very clear. You want to assess? Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
You need to assess each other. You are in the same. It's interrelated.
Yes. Thank you, Chair, for the questions. The question was how many trucks are passing the Way Bridge on a daily basis. I mentioned earlier that back then in 2005, we were weighing less than 1,000 trucks in a month. But now, today as we speak, or maybe let me mention here that from this May 2026, the Way Bridge started operating 24 hours. We were actually supposed to start working 24 hours when the border opened 24 hours, but due to in-house problems, we could not start off. But as of May this year, 2026, we started with the 24 hours. But now, when coming to the trucks, around the clock, 24 hours, we can weigh up to 500 trucks today, as we speak. And the technology, or what can help us to ease the congestion that we see there, if you have been at the Way Bridge, you will remember that that Way Bridge is too small. And it's using a scale that we call a 3x4 scale. That scale weighs axle by axle. So you know trucks are a truck with two trailers. So if you weigh axle, steering axle first, the driving axle, the other axle, you are literally weighing 4 trucks in one truck. So to solve this issue, you bring in a multi-deck system, a scale that takes a 22-meter truck at once, and then you just press once, it is weighed, off it goes. So those are the scales that are being built now in Namibia, the mount deck one. It's a long scale that takes the whole truck at once. But here we are still using this very small one, which we shift a truck by, and that is eating on the time. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I just want to come in to say, I don't know whether it's provided for by the regulations. When it comes to this traction approach, as much as you are waiting, is there any provision for you to check up the issue of tires, the issue of lights, and others, also the issue of fatigues in terms of drivers and so forth? Or you are just only interested on
the waiting?
Thank you, Chair. That's where we start. We are not only interested in weighing. The whole process starts with the inspection. Before the truck comes on the platform, on the scale, there is already an inspector that is outside, that has already gone around that truck, checking the tires, checking the lights, checking everything, the fitness of the vehicle, the fitness of the driver, every document that the driver must have. So it starts before it is even weighed. That's why the process is like
lengthy.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Taken alcohol and all those things, you are not part of that.
Alcohol testing. No, we used to do those things, as you know, but those machines have to be calibrated. Now, when the time they were sent back, they were never, they never came back again. You cannot just use the machine without calibrating it because it must be having a certificate. Yes. So when that certificate is expired, you need to send it back for calibration. But I don't know what happened. They were never sent back again. Thank you.
Point taken. Did I see her?
No, Chairperson, mine is just on the awareness that as it was also raised as one of the concern and also contributing factors to accidents. When these trucks, more especially the one from our neighbor, they are convoys, they do not give space. Maybe as a package that we need to give them so that the awareness would start there as well. So that when they depart from there, they should at least know there should be space, because they are frustrating fellow drivers on the road, and eventually also contributing to the road accident on the road. Maybe I do not know whether it's part of your duty, but maybe you can also inculcate that one, so that at least the awareness can also begin from there, to avoid accident on the road.
That is a critical point.
Thank you, Chair.
You see, before you come in, you see, every day, if you drive from Otavi to Chivarango, every day, there is not a day that you don't pass a truck. And you find 4, 5 trucks following each other like this. So this contribution is very critical. Floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Chair. The awareness is part of our responsibilities also. My regional manager is doing the awareness on the radio. We are doing awareness through the Walvis Bay Corridor Group, the Walvis Bay Lubumbashi Corridor. So awareness is done through that corridor, because that corridor is the one that is now dealing with trucks. Yeah, so the awareness is there. We are doing awareness at the way bridges. We are telling them from here, we don't want to see you following each other like this. But what they do is they will just go drive one by one from the way bridge, and they wait each other in front there. You'll find them stopping there, is waiting for others who are being waited to come so that they join again there. But the awareness is done at the way bridge. Thank you.
This is true. Yeah, I agree with you fully, because when you drive from Otavi, when you arrive at Etunda, there is a rest place. They park there 10, 12 trucks.
They wait each other there.
Okay. Point very well taken. Is there any other contribution from the honorable members regarding the road authority? Then I will give the honorable members a floor to ask for the local authority. Is it also covered? Any contribution? Yeah, I see a hand there.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Maybe to the road authority, or maybe also to the president.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of trucks. So do you think that if there is a railway, it might help to ease the congestion of traffic on our road? Or is it not maybe in your plan as a region? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Most definitely, the railway will ease the congestion. We were even happy when we heard there was a feasibility study of a railway to be extended from Grootfontein to Katima. But now there is a fear between in the truck industry that the railway will kill their business. But most definitely the railway will ease this condition. Thank you.
Any other contributions? There was questions raised. Did you note the questions that were raised previously?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us answers on that question?
Maybe it's just to repeat the question for the House to make sure that did I understand the question correctly or I did not understand the question correctly. The question is asking, as a head of traffic, Katima Muliro, did I do anything to improve the congestion and the controlling of a vehicle within the town? And if it's like that, what is the challenge we are facing? Or maybe, can you repeat?
Yes, you're almost there. But we are saying, since you are the custodian of the whole jurisdiction,
Yes.
being also a section within the local authority. So did you also propose something that you have submitted just to improve trafficking within the town, or how to control the traffic within your jurisdiction?
Yes. The question is clear. I tried, and the first that try, it came upon the challenge that I face. Currently, as we are speaking, traffic of Katima Muliro, we are only 5 where I am included. 4 members on the ground, which they are not enough. Because traffic policy, you cannot work alone in a vehicle. Mr. Master, you have to be 2. Now they are working only 2. They can't able to work shift unless exactly what we used to do. We got assistance with NAMPOL, we go joint venture to get assistance only, like operation. But they have to list, that is the problem. I put a proposal to add another 4 members so that we have 2 shifts. The challenge that we are having again, we are not doing only traffic-related matter. They connect by law on the traffic, which is a very big challenge. That challenge, you cannot remove a traffic vehicle from the road to go and solve a lead issue. Who will be on the road? You see already, I took 2 remain. It used to give us a challenge. I have to call NAMPOL. My member, they are not enough through the inspector. Some they wait to attend, we got extend somewhere, this one they are away. That's the problem we are having. I got a submission where even this system we are talking, where I request also to have a system for controlling repeated offenders. Because we got too many, the challenge that we are having as a town council, crossing border Zambian, come to operate a traffic here. It's the same person. After he work here, During night, he go and sleep in Zambia. Tomorrow he come back. Every day, you find the same person. Immigration. It's a process you have to consult for them to come in. When you are going to consult, where is this person? That's why we need a system. For the same repeat offender, the moment I get you, we can't leave you, we just go straight, but you have to consult the police again to consult immigration. We don't have system on the place. But I propose, it's already go through. Maybe unless there's another question or there's something not clear.
The floor is yours. Follow up.
Honorable Chair, maybe just to get more clarity on the person that used to. Yeah, cross the. I think maybe on that person that you were referring to. So you need to give me more clarity. But the Honorable Chair is very much disappointing. Maybe we are very much unfortunate not to have the leadership here.
Yes.
You fail to understand as to why the unit, this unit was established for. Then you have only 4 people.
4.
Then what is the capacity of the inhabitants of Katima Murilo? Based on that, how many traffic officers do you need to provide to maintain the situation? It's very much disappointing. And if they are turning down the submission, really they are not doing honest to the justice to the system. So I think if they could be here, but of course the honorables are here who are regional councils, something that maybe you need to look at. Because with 4 people, looking at what's the population of Katima Murilo? Or is it because that you are more relying on the Nampol and you hardly understand. So, okay, thank you very much.
Before I give you the floor, Secretariat, is there any excuse for the local authority not to be here? Did they give us the excuse?
No, the local authority is here represented by him. For them, as top management, yes, for them as top management to, for their absence, there's nothing that has been forwarded to us, yes.
Maybe we must up our invitation to invite the local authority councillors specifically. That I will give you a floor. Let's give me time. But you know, the motion is clear. It's a critical motion, and we are interrogating the root cause. And while we are interrogating the root cause, without the role players, we are not going to find a solution. The decision makers. Oh, sorry. Can you please give me? Yeah. The role players needs to be present. So the Secretariat needs to take note that immediately we forward a letter, a correspondence to those that we are going to attend to, specifically for the local authorities and the regional councillors to attend to, for us to be successful. Wherever we go, it is critical that we see and we applaud the number. Namibian police, Namibian traffic department, the municipality police is always here. And that is the commitment we want to obtain what we are looking for. So it is really a disappointment for the local leadership not to attend this type of critical, crucial engagement that we have in the towns. We are using government resources to travel around, and it is critical for us to go to the Red Cross. So I will give you the floor to comment on that one.
Thank you very much, through the chair. The capacity which was supposed to the local authority to have, the member were supposed to be 12. So that we give this member after...
Sorry, was it according to the organograph?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like that. Because 4 members, if they are working from 6 to 2. Others, they start to 2. Others, they are resting. Consecutive. Now with these 2 members, it's a very big challenge. If one member gets sick, The whole 2 members, they go in one vehicle. 3 of them. You see? Otherwise, if it's not like that, I have to seek a help from Nambian Police Traffic for them to go together, for him, for a manpower, for a member to work. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Even to the equipment, like now, we got only 2 breathalyzer, Intoxicate 900 for alcohol test. And for us, since it went for calibration, it never came back. It's already a challenge. Because when they don't have, we use this one.
They make it clear.
Yeah.
No, that point is very clear.
Yeah.
All right. Any other contribution?
The person whom we were referring, that used to join in.
To do what?
Maybe you can rephrase it correctly that we can understand. Okay. Yes. Any other contribution?
No, I wanted to tell you that what we say is one of the challenge when Zambian crossing the border come to drive a taxi here. Yeah. Illegally.
And then in
Illegal
the night,
taxi.
cross the border, go sleep there. In the morning, come here,
Come
and
here.
drive the taxi.
Repeated offender. Now.
This is very critical.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Any other contribution? In conclusion, it is very, very unacceptable that the region can operate without a traffic vehicle. This is not this is really not good. That is tantamount to the accidents that is happening. If the accident is happening, the police is notified, the traffic officials are supposed to be there on spot. Now they don't have Commander, you need to seriously look into this. We are going to take this also very, very, very serious and put it in our recommendations regarding the Zambezi region. Yeah, no, definitely. If the yes, Commissioner, you wanted to say something?
Sorry.
Floor is yours.
I just wanted to say their vehicle was bumped. That's why they now don't have a vehicle.
Whether it is bumped, there is nothing. That really is not the excuse. The region needs to have adequate vehicles to operate, to fulfill their duties. With this, is it any other contributions? Yes.